Good morning everyone, and welcome to Bill and Val's Allotment. Now this morning we're going to be having a go at our nettles. They were a bit lower last week, but we've had rain and they really have shot up, so I need to now do a nettle feed. Now I would usually use just a bucket, chuck loads in a bucket of water, stick the lid on and pop it away for a couple of weeks to do its thing, then siphon it off and pop it into bottles. However, the siphoning process, well, it really does stink. So I want to try another version, which is Nigel Palmer's version of fermenting the nettle leaves. He also did this with Huw Richards, and I'm going to give it a go as best I can. So that is what we're up to today. So first of all, you need to get yourself a good strong pair of gloves, because the last thing you want to do is get stung. Obviously grab as many nettles as you might need, just being really careful with them. Now usually I would take all of these nettles and steep them in water for the feed that I used to do, but this is quite specific quantities for the fermentation, and I'm using the one that Huw actually did on his channel as basically a test for me to see whether or not it's going to work for us. We really don't know. So chop as many as you need, and hopefully the fermentation process will work really well. I had to use a different kind of sugar. You do need, or supposed to need, a soft brown sugar, but sadly I couldn't get hold of any. So let's have a look. Nettles, or only a few of them at the moment. I'll go and get some more in a moment, because what we need is quite a lot. But first thing to do, sorry about the wobbly camera, is for me to chop them up. Now you can just twist them and break them and squish them, but they need to go into a jar, so I want to make sure that I can get them in without stinging myself. So far all good. Stick them in the bowl. So you can use all of the nettle all the way down. You can even use the roots if you decided you just want to pull your patch up. They will come back again, as you know, year on year, which is why we do like to have them, because they are so useful in the garden. And not only that, if you're having a hungry gap, then nettle soup, nettle tea, all sort of lovely stuff, so we can enjoy it as well as the plants. Right, so that's all my nettles all sorted. Now I want, you have to be specific with the measurements, or as near as damn it, as we say. So I want around about 120 grams of nettles, which I'm hoping is not all that. 121, that'll do. So shove that back in there, and now I need 90 grams of sugar. Now getting organic sugar down here at the moment is a bit of a problem, so I'll just go for the soft brown. Hopefully that will do exactly the same. And as always, going over the top, but not to worry, because you do need to put a bit of extra on top. So pop that in with the nettles, do that a little bit, give it a mix round, and then again, without stinging yourself, get that nettle and sugar mixture into the jar. Yeah. If you can. Which I think we can. Try and get a bit of sugar in there. I'll put that final layer on. So it does need to be mixed up. Get that fermentation process going. final bit goes. Hopefully you've been able to see that. Pop that little bit of sugar on top as well. Now you need a stone for weight, just to make sure it's going to go down. Make sure your stone is clean. If you're getting it from the garden, then you want to make sure that you boiled it for about 10 minutes. So it is nice and clean. So that on, then a piece of cloth on the top, and just tie it off with a band. Whatever band you've got, it doesn't really matter. Now I've left this on the front here because I want to see how high it was, so hopefully when we come back that would have started to reactivate and gone down to at least that level. Now that is that portion of it. It needs to sit now for 5 to 7 days, so I'm going to leave it here in the dark in this shed, and then it will be siphoning off the juice. So that's it for now. Hello again. Well, guess what it is? It is Pelargonium time. We need to get some cuttings off these now, because as you can see they are flowering, so they're going to be going into the boys' hats very, very soon. Now I've got my kits. I've got my water for rinsing off me secateurs between each plant. That's got a couple of drops of tea tree in it, a little bit of water for the base of the cutting, and then some hormone rooting powder as well. Now I'm going to be using John and Ing's number 2 potting on compost for this. So you know, you're better off giving them a good start. I don't want a huge amount, but as with cuttings you do need to take more than you need just in case they fail. So I'm just going to get my compost, which has been soaking from the bottom up, and I'll see you in a second. Righty ho, so just make your little dip holes in your compost. Now the ones I'm doing first of all are pink ones. As I say, I probably only need about 6, but it really does pay to do more than you need. So you need to have a little look at your plant and find what you think might be the best option for a good cutting. So that one in there to me looks pretty good. So just get my second tears wiped in my lovely jollop, and then what you need to do is get in there and cut it off straight, so it's completely straight. Now hopefully the leaves will come off nice and easy like that. Take any residual bits off, and basically that is your cutting. Dip in water on the base, a little bit of rooting powder, in it goes. Simple as that. So just to show you another one, this one here is looking pretty good. Now as I said, try and cut it straight, because then you've only got the one cut to make. Put that down. Now this one, as you can see, has got a flower, and you want to get rid of that. You don't want that there, but otherwise that should be, hopefully, I'm hoping that'll be long enough. Again, dip in water, dip in the powder, straight in, and there you have it. Sorted. Here again, it's got a nice one right at the base here, so just get in there and try and cut it straight. Get rid of the plant there. That's lovely. I'll whip that one off. Just take the rest off. Cut it straight again, like that. Again, water, bit of powder, into the hole. Lovely. Righty ho, so that is all my cuttings done. I've done 9 of each pink and red, and hopefully we'll get at least 6 out of there. They're not looking too bad, so fingers crossed. Now, update on Bill. Unfortunately, he's not very well this week. He is suffering with his arthritic knees, but as you can see, everything in the greenhouse is doing well, and hopefully he'll be better next week, and he'll be able to give us a hand, because I tell you, it's a 2-man job. Right, now I was going to point out a couple of disasters before we go today. Sorry, Leah and Dave, your sage, your rosemary and your lemongrass is not gonna happen, I'm afraid. It's you know, it's had at least 4 weeks now. There's nothing coming, so I'm going to bin those. Now, I was also going to say about the parsley, but when I lifted the lid, which I can't do now with my wrong hand, let me just turn it over. If you can see in there, we have life. The parsley is emerging, and I'm really, really chuffed. I hope you can see that. It's all over the place. So yay, parsley this year for some lovely parsley butter and other things. As always, thank you very much for subscribing. Thanks to our new and old subscribers. Have a fantastic week, and hopefully we'll see you next week with Bill. Bye.